Hello everyone, Calina here of StoryRetold, and I'm continuing with Arglefumph's videos, reacting to his Everything Wrong with Nancy Drew. This one is Danger by Design, so be sure to follow him, give him a thumbs up on this video. The links to his series is down below, this playlist that you see right here on the screen. Let's get right into it. So I played this a few times and realized that there's no audio here, right here. So that threw me off for a bit.
Before you can start playing the game, you have to sit through a minute-long lecture about Nancy's desk.
Yeah.
Nancy's case file switches from third person to first person halfway through.
Oh, yeah. That's not good writing.
A background check on Minette before spending a lot of money on her.
Some people.
Why is the doorknob in the middle of the door?
That's a European thing. That's a design.
In order to see Heather from this angle, Nancy must be lying on the floor.
It's just cutscene camera perspectives and points of view. But yeah, to touch on point of views though, there is an inconsistency with, since player is assuming the role of Nancy Drew and it is first person, the camera view switches between cinematic storytelling camera points of view to first person and then back again. So I get that. It's a design inconsistency.
Clothes or my cell phone.
If Nancy brought her cell phone, why did she also bring a prepaid phone card?
Oh, yeah.
For 10 seconds, then 6 seconds of sobs and tears, and finally, at least 4 seconds of robust laughter.
I timed this part. Minette actually screams for 44 seconds, cries for 28, and laughs for 10.
Well, maybe Minette is not counting. Maybe she's needing to take a little extra time for this particular tantrum.
Stop screaming right now, which should begin right about now.
Heather's amazing sense of timing.
Well, you know, when you work for someone for so long and you get to know their quirks, you can pick up on stuff like that. It's funny.
That's a project I'm working on. Well, supposed to be working on.
Do your job, Heather.
Well, I mean, if it's a project that you really don't look forward to and you've got time to work on it, I'd rather work on fun stuff instead.
By total coincidence, the culprit leaves a threatening note mere minutes after Nancy first arrives.
Nice, huh?
If you were some kind of private detective, I'd say sure, but since you're not.
Dramatic irony.
Yes. Yes. Giving Nancy a chance to slip up by admitting this. And she's supposed to be undercover, so...
Nancy's email inbox contains emails sent to 3 different people, none of whom are Nancy.
Yeah, and it's fun to look at these, because this is a character from Ghost Dogs on Moon Lake. And this is funny. L'interrogateur. Krollmeister. Yeah. Maybe it was from another email address?
Your plug is one word.
Oh, well.
Sonny's clues here don't match with any of the puzzles in this game.
Really? I mean, maybe he was just his doodles don't always do either, right? I mean, that blotter machine doesn't actually go like that.
Nancy?
All right, that does it. Nancy, you're fired.
Nancy?
Heather's voice clip is used twice in a row.
Yeah, that's okay.
Instead of putting them down on paper, like a normal designer, she insists on creating them on a live model.
And what is Minette sketching all day?
More
Minette,
designs?
The
I know, Minette is a terrible person.
famous fashion designer wears a plain white jumpsuit every single day.
Are you sure it's the same jumpsuit? It could be. Well, I mean, Heather wears the same thing too.
It was custom blended by my tea therapist.
Minette has a tea therapist.
You know, the things that famous, wealthy people spend money on, it's amazing that jobs like that exist. A tea therapist. You want to go into that job? Sounds like an interesting job.
This puzzle.
Hey, no, I like that puzzle. It's a logic puzzle. And it makes me want to try individual ingredients these up here to taste how different they are individually, because tea combinations are always that. They're a combination of herbs and spices.
Minette's favorite color changes from day to day, but it can only be red or blue. This is ridiculous.
Well, maybe the logic is missing one step. You know, if it's anything else, run.
If Minette picks an odd number, you should add T's ending in consonants. What?
I know.
I kind of like to think that I already am a fashion designer.
Heather thinks she can be a fashion designer when she wears that outfit.
What's wrong with that outfit? I think she looks spiffy, professional, and stylish. Especially it's like an homage to the 70s, because did you see her pants? Amazing.
Here's some money.
Nancy didn't bring any money with her while traveling overseas.
Well, no, hang on. If she's going to be spending money on stuff for the job, she should be reimbursed. The job should be paying for it, not with her own pocket money. But yeah, that's true. Nancy didn't bring any money for herself. Maybe she did, and she's not going to spend it for her work.
Every item Nancy needs in this game just happens to be at the exact same park.
Convenient.
Nancy is so bad at haggling, she can only make one offer before she's forced to pay full price.
That is true. That is too bad. And you wouldn't know what the best price is until you've played the game so many times over or found the answer online.
These prices are ridiculous, by the way. €10 for a stick, €1 for a cookbook?
Looks familiar. Where have I seen this arm before?
Nancy doesn't remember any of these items which appeared in previous games.
Or maybe Nancy's just acknowledging something that player may or may not know as well. Maybe player didn't play the Haunted Carousel.
You want me to pay the reproductions?
Forgeries, Nancy. They're called forgeries.
This is not an exact replica of the Mona Lisa. It's a stylized version. A 2D... what style is this? Like Art Deco? Minimalist? Art Deco? Maybe? So making copies paint by number, I wouldn't call them forgeries.
They like to buy hand-painted reproductions of famous works of art.
Marshawn says he's going to sell these reproductions to tourists, but
Yeah.
Nancy's a tourist and she can't buy one.
No, because he's asking her to... Wow, that's too bad. That would have been made a nice souvenir, huh?
You get paid the same amount of money for doing both paintings, even though the flower painting is much harder.
Yeah, that's true.
Dad made me promise not to go anywhere by myself after dark.
Nancy is an adult who is more than capable of taking care of herself, but she still has a curfew.
But she is going alone in a foreign country, and she might not know all the sketchy places to walk or not walk. Have you seen the movie Taken?
Minette is too distracted by computer games to do her job.
I've been there.
But if somebody could get online, play that stupid game and get the highest score while pretending to be her, she wouldn't know the difference.
This plan works.
Yeah.
Playing a computer game while playing a computer game.
I mean, it's an online... No, I get it. Yeah, it's meta. It's pretty meta, but it's cool.
Puzzle reused from game number 11.
Yeah.
Jade's website lets two different people log on as the same user at the same time.
Yeah.
Minette and Nancy both finished the game within 10 seconds of each other.
Unless Minette finally finished a round and didn't just now notice the high score board, which could have been posted before she noticed it, so, you know.
Come in, set your things down and come on over here.
When Nancy first arrives, JJ talks to her without bothering to look at her.
Oh, animation.
Clothes in every size imaginable. Contractually, I have to be a size 12.
JJ has to be a specific size, yet she has tons of clothes in sizes she can't wear.
Okay, I cannot speak to the fashion industry, but I've heard, this is hearsay, and I've seen documentaries that fashion models and anyone who works in the fashion industry might have samples or extra copies of designer clothes just because maybe someone didn't need it anymore, or someone was getting rid of it, or someone wants you to promote that product and hand it off to someone. There could be many different ways why she would have different size clothing.
Sometimes I make things up, you know, just for practice. Just to see if I can get people to believe me.
JJ lies for no reason other than to look suspicious.
I know, it's annoying too.
JJ never moves her arm that's holding the bowl. It must be numb by now.
She is very steady. She is a fitting model after all.
Since you're here, I share cookies.
JJ never shares any cookies with Nancy.
That we know. I want a cookie.
Manually dialing 10-digit phone numbers.
Old school.
Nancy has to call her calling card so she can call people at home, so she has to call a 10-digit number to call a 10-digit number.
It's a little annoying,
Next
I know.
question needs a question mark. George's subtitles leave out the word A.
Yeah, all the copy edits here were not thoroughly combed over when inserted into the game, I guess.
You know how to make prints.
Nancy does everyone else's chores cliché.
Yeah.
There is no good reason why Dieter can't develop the prints himself.
He's busy? Maybe he just doesn't like doing this part? You know, everyone's got a unfavorable step in a process that they regularly would rather skip.
This puzzle.
I know.
Take this binder into the dark room with me?
Leave it in here, please.
Otherwise, the puzzle would be too easy. Nancy tells Dieter she has no idea how to do this, but he still forces her to work with explosive chemicals in the dark.
Yeah.
It only takes me 7 minutes, sometimes 5, never more than 9.
Dieter says this after 4 minutes, not 9. In real life, you need total darkness to develop film negatives, but in this case, the negatives are already done. Nancy is just making prints.
Yeah.
Therefore, she shouldn't need total darkness.
Oh, good
Nancy
point.
doesn't need to replace the photo paper after accidentally exposing it. How did Nancy know ahead of time which person was Jean-Mi? Is she just good at guessing, or did
Or was there a picture in the magazine? I don't remember.
she approach every man in the restaurant until she found the right one?
Did you see how many people were at the restaurant? He seems to be the only one. Good guess.
Traquenard. It is Jean-Michel Traquenard. Ezer Mickey. Gigi.
French people have French accents.
Yeah?
That joke is so funny, the game tells it 3 times in the same conversation.
I wish to hear my native tongue butchered while I eat.
Jean-Mi isn't eating anything. He spends hours here and eats nothing.
Save on animation, you don't see it happening.
En français, you pronounce G like J and J like G.
Nancy doesn't know this, even though her case file says she took 2 years of French in school.
Good point. Good catch. That is an inconsistency.
Conveniently,
Well, unless Jean-Mi is giving a lesson right now, just to emphasize this, but Nancy is being very adamant about her own American pronunciation.
for our American hero, everyone in France speaks fluent English.
It's not uncommon. I mean, a lot of other countries have a lot of English speakers as well to accommodate their businesses or their jobs.
Also, all the French newspapers are written in English.
I think there might have been some French ones, but, you know, if this is seen at JJ's apartment, she speaks English, so she probably ordered an English version.
You are quite doué as a photo developer.
Jean-Mi compliments the photos before he looks at them.
Or maybe he looked at them and then stuffed them back in, and that's what the shot is right here. I don't know.
Jean-Mi's necklace.
His medallion? It's very blingy.
Why can't Nancy ask Jean-Mi what the food is? He already knows she's bad at French.
Maybe he just wants to see her suffer, and maybe Nancy doesn't want to look like a fool?
The subtitles say it was a pleasure taking to you, not talking to
Uh-oh.
you. Prudence Rutherford, Sonny Joon, Big Bunny, the Jade Key. Why are there so many references to Secret of the Scarlet Hand in this game?
Sonny Joon.
Want to join
Oop.
the 6-figure?
I don't pay for YouTube Premium just yet.
Nancy, tell her the designs are done and will be shipped to her by the end of the week.
Conveniently, Prudence is distracted long enough for Heather to give Nancy these instructions.
Yeah.
This puzzle.
I know.
If you get the outfit right, Heather tells you. If Heather knows the solution ahead of time, why doesn't she do this puzzle?
Maybe she knows what the requirements are, and so she looks at it real quick and she can tell.
Prudence wants to show as much skin as possible, but she refuses to wear a skirt. When Prudence says no green in this outfit, the green on her purse doesn't count.
Oh, yeah.
Who goes on a cruise with a rabbit mask and ears?
That's a good question, I
For
know.
the purposes of this puzzle, Minette the clothing designer makes umbrellas and purses. Nobody
Yeah.
cares if several days pass before Nancy completes her chores. JJ refuses to do her job for basically no reason.
She is... Okay, well, I understand this situation because JJ wants to finish making her cookies. I understand not wanting to leave a baking or cooking project in the middle of it to go do something else. I mean, I get the interruption problem.
JJ refuses to do her job, but Nancy is the one who takes the blame.
Yeah, because Nancy's the gopher.
Not going anywhere until these mint chocolate chip cookies are finished.
As it turns out, JJ hasn't even started making the cookies yet. JJ says,
Everything you need is right here.
when there is no mint or brown sugar, JJ is a liar.
Well, I suppose when you would start off with a baking recipe and you think you've got all the ingredients out, but then you check the actual recipe itself and, oh, hey, you're missing something. That's happened to me before. But yeah, good catch. I would have totally had her mention that she is missing a few things.
Why is JJ holding the bowl all day if there's nothing in it?
Maybe the previous day she was making something else? But that's a good complaint.
That's your problem now. Remember, I'm going to call you when I get to Minette's. If those cookies aren't done, I'm going to go shopping instead. And Minette's going to go bonkers. Ta-ta!
JJ is a jerk.
Yeah.
JJ says she'll go shopping if the cookies aren't done, but in reality, she just sits outside Minette's studio and waits 15 minutes before calling again.
We don't know how long it takes her to get from the apartment to the studio, and cookies take about 10 minutes to bake.
JJ should arrive at Minette's studio long before Nancy finishes finding the mint and baking the cookies. None of these foods are listed in the French-English dictionary. This puzzle! There's no way of knowing which food has mint, so you just have to guess randomly until you get it right.
That is true. However, this presents you a secondary option for getting mint, other than buying it from the vendor, which is really expensive, by the way. This is the cheaper way of getting the mint, definitely.
This puzzle. In real life,
What's wrong with the puzzle? I love baking puzzles.
mint cookies don't curl up at the edges.
Right.
This puzzle.
No, hang on. This was a unique thing that was designed for the game. That is true. It is fictional. The cookies, mint does not make cookie edges curl upwards, but it was a clear indicator for the player to know that the player did it right, so that they have something to report to JJ when completed.
This puzzle reused from Game 10.
A little bit,
The
yeah.
Dodo Box has 4 notes inside. One was delivered today, and one is a fake by Heather, so that means there were only 2 legitimate notes before now.
Yeah.
This contradicts Heather's statement that
Started sometime in April, then they stopped, then they started up again in July.
Oh.
Hey, Dieter! These must have fallen.
No, that is a very good point. That wouldn't count enough notes. Unless maybe she did something to the notes, like burn them, and then started filling up the box again.
Out of his pocket.
a suspect accidentally drops vital clues right in front of Nancy.
Convenient.
Why does Minette need a parrot?
Who knows? It's Minette.
3 of the bugs politely wait in the box until Nancy enters the room. This puzzle. Whenever Nancy opens the box to put a new cockroach inside, none of the other cockroaches try to escape.
That is a good point, but thankfully, they stay put.
Minette puts this old letter here instead of in her wastebasket. Subtitles put a space after hey when the space should be before Minette.
Letters in these fonts look exactly like the ones that were used in one of those threatening notes Minette got, which means Heather must have sent it.
Because it's obviously impossible for 2 different people to have access to the same font.
Unless it was a purchased font, and there are a lot of fonts out there that exist.
How many are there?
I don't know, 9?
You just got the cockroaches, Nancy. How did you forget so quickly? Nancy doesn't wash her hands after the cockroach puzzle.
Ew.
Dieter spends most of the game hiding in the bathroom. Dieter stays in here for hours, even though earlier he bragged he always finishes photo work in under 7 minutes.
Is he doing something different, or is he doing like a lot of rounds of photo work?
Nancy's dialogue is always in light blue, except for this conversation.
Good point.
The photographer lets Nancy walk off with his only camera.
Did you see the quality of that camera? It looks ancient. Like, I don't think anyone will want to buy that camera. I remember we still have some cameras. Nobody's going to want them.
No, the list is in French.
Nancy knows several people who are fluent in French, but she can't ask them for a translation.
Bummer,
Nancy can't translate this list of simple words, but she has no problem translating the multiple-page letter at the end of the game.
Yeah, that's
This
inconsistent.
puzzle. Nancy finds a hidden passageway cliché. The clock which opens the hidden passageway was in the Schwesterkrank family for the past 60 years. So how was Noisette able to enter the passageway and put the safe inside?
Huh, yeah.
That mask?
That's a good
So
question.
her interactive can save money on animation.
And also to add to her eccentricity. I can't say that word.
I'm a big fan of Xing Xing. I call her house and leave massage. I call Minette because I know she works there, but she will not talk to me.
Nancy helps an obsessed stalker get an autograph.
At least it's just an autograph and nothing more.
JJ doesn't notice that she spelled out her own name. By coincidence, Zoo's message is exactly the same length as a game of Hangman with no repeating letters.
Convenient.
Zoo doesn't notice the spacing between the letters. Dieter
Oh well.
searched for the treasure for months and found nothing.
Yeah, no, I have a point though to make. Why doesn't Nancy like write her own autograph, like forge her signature or something? You know.
He gives Nancy his clue, and she finds the treasure in one day.
Nice.
He follows a scavenger hunt, a fabulous treasure cliché.
Yep.
The scavenger hunt clues are over 60 years old, but they're still in perfect condition.
Yeah.
Good thing the history professor told Nancy about Noisette's final words. Otherwise, the red left green puzzle would be unsolvable.
Yeah.
There's a 30-second animation of Nancy walking. She gets the key, turns around, and then there's another 30 seconds of Nancy walking.
Hey, it matches. How nice. Is there something wrong with that?
It's long and boring.
Oh, okay.
Nobody in the park sees Nancy entering this hidden passageway.
I hear that you used to date Minette.
That is correct.
But you're not dating her now?
No.
Because...
You would have to ask her.
Why did you break up with Dieter?
That is absolutely, unequivocally, 100% none of your business.
We never learn why Minette broke up with Dieter. Minette never looks up or stops working while she's yelling at Nancy.
Well, I mean, if you're embarrassed about something, you're not going to exactly look someone in the eye.
This puzzle.
I think there was a bit of, Yeah, I don't remember what the actual answer is to why they broke up, but obviously they don't want to be separate.
Culprit includes bomb defusing instructions inside the bomb.
Handy.
Culprit foils their own plot.
Yeah.
In the bad ending, Minette opens the door to trigger the bomb, then she immediately stops talking and moving. Nancy is on a fashion internship, but she's still wearing her mom jeans and ugly horse shirt.
Yeah.
Nancy is supposed to borrow clothes from JJ, but she's wearing her own clothes.
Oh,
Nancy's
good
clothes
point.
are the same no matter what day it is.
Yeah.
I can only conclude she wears the same outfit.
No, well, yeah, maybe Nancy was wearing the same outfit every single day, huh? Or maybe she, washed her existing outfit, wore a new outfit during that day, and then wore her washed clothes next. I don't know.
Every single day, and none of the fashion people care. By coincidence, Noisette hid this safe near the last existing bottle of Mouton Fouette 1968.
Yeah,
This
coincidence.
Hey, my book on Ichido is missing.
Luckily, Nancy can still buy an invisible copy.
Oh, really?
How much did you say this book was?
It costs 23 euros.
Looks like I should type a message.
Oh, good catch. I've never noticed that, but I'm still waiting to see that one actual bug with the sewers. You just mentioned one.
Using my own keyboard.
Nancy uses my own keyboard to refer to the player's keyboard,
Yep.
which is not hers. This puzzle. Let me summarize Noisette.
No, that's a great puzzle because that's a real life enigma pattern. Like, that's how it actually works.
Letter. Thank you so much for solving the puzzles and clearing my good name. Now I'm gonna lock you inside here so you can't tell anyone.
Rude.
This puzzle. The only reason Nancy solves this mystery is because she accidentally walks in on the culprits while they're confessing.
Yeah, nice, huh?
The culprits are people who are mentioned in a random newspaper headline and nowhere else.
Yeah, but this definitely gives big suspicion, casts big suspicion on Minette because she's working with them.
Nancy put all this effort into finding Noisette's treasure, and it turns out to be entirely unrelated to the culprits or the mystery.
Yeah, that's too bad, huh?
We see Minette from weird angles here for no apparent reason.
Because you can't even see the facial expressions on her face, this does add a level of tension or some unnerving feelings. It's to create tension.
There is no indication that Nancy needs to buy the Ichido book,
right,
even though it's necessary for the final puzzle of the game.
Well, I mean, player can figure it out in this puzzle. I mean, and I think she says that too. She's cluing in on certain phrases that Minette is saying, and that's the direction that she'll be throwing her punch.
Why does Nancy have to fight Minette? Can't she just run away?
It's a confrontation scene. I don't know.
Instead of fighting back, Nancy decides to let the culprit hit her dozens of times in a row, in hopes that the culprit will eventually get tired and give up on her own.
I fought imaginary elves that were stronger than you.
Nancy's trash talk. How did Nancy get...
Okay, time out. Okay, so there's a reason why why Her Interactive had the player block and defend herself, because in ESRB for the rating, if Nancy was actually to throw a punch or to inflict any pain or damage directly to another character or an object in breaking it, like real vandalism or whatever, that would have merited the ESRB rating to be from E, moving it up to T for teen. And so there had to be so many creative ways that the Her Interactive team had to resolve something that would totally make sense in real life. Yeah, if she's gonna start throwing punches at you, yeah, you'd probably want to throw punches back and defend yourself. But I'm sure they had to make a big case, because I used to submit to ESRB for games 26 through 32, and so I had to explain thoroughly what was happening in some of the violent scenes where Nancy would break something. This is a creative way to involve Nancy in a fight.
Get that photograph of Minette's tattoo. Did she take a picture of Minette's unconscious body before the police arrived?
Yes.
Game teases us with a fake photo of Nancy.
Yeah, don't you love that peacock hat? Wow.
Game's ending fails to tell us what happened to Dieter, JJ, or Jean-Michel.
Really? Oh. I thought that would have been in there somewhere. Maybe I'll have to go back and take a look, because I thought it was supposed to be mentioned. Sentence: forced to wear Prudence Rutherford's clothes. No. Oh, that's awful. Okay. Well, also on the topic of ESRB, Her Interactive had to be creative about the beverage of Mouton Fouetté. It was never stated, shown, written audibly or in captions or artistically anywhere in the game that it was alcoholic or that it was wine. Never stated that. And that is how Her Interactive was able to get around the alcohol descriptor for ESRB, because they called it a beverage. The Mouton Fouetté beverage. And Mouton Fouetté is a fake name that was made up by one of the designers at Her Interactive who spoke fluent French. So, interesting fact. Anyways, thanks for watching. I will see you in the next video. Be sure to check out Arglefumph's playlist. That's in the link down below. Leads to this playlist you see right there. And give him a thumbs up. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.